Guard your, welcome to live chat. Remember to guard your privacy and abide by our community. Yeah, I think I've got that. Let's have a look. Top chat live messages. Well, for the one person that's already back, thank you. Not sure who you are. Hopefully the chat works this time. All messages are visible. That's always good. We'll give it a little while. I've been out. Happy New Year to the one person. 2 likes. Happy New Year. It's coffee. I need it. So hopefully there's a few people. I'm not expecting many. It's New Year's Eve. So for me it is, let's have a look. 0130. Happy New Year. So we got Reef. Lovely to see you. Ayo. Nice to see you. Mark Rain. Honestly, you are everywhere. It's good to see you. So I'm glad the chat's working because tonight I want to feed off of your chat. So I'm so free. Happy New Year, Wolfie. Right back at you. Genuinely, I've been out all night. So I've seen, I don't normally share much private stuff. Tonight I've been round to somebody who I consider one of my very best friends. And I don't share much. We've all got stories, we've all got struggles, we've all got worries. For those that are early enough to hear this, I won't repeat it. The fact that I was able to go round tonight and spend New Year's Eve in my friend's home, with his wife, his kids, friends. We had music, we had a few beers, a few laughs. The amount of times that I looked across and just looked at Matthew, he's got no idea. But over the last 2 years, he's fought cancer, a really nasty cancer, non-Hodgkin's lymphoma cancer. I don't want to bring people down, but it's just to show that we've all got lives, you know, we've all got struggles, and I've struggled. I've really struggled. I remember saying to him things like, you concentrate on getting better. You know, I'm looking after everything else. He's a really great guy, really nice guy, funny as hell. But he's been through it. And like so many of you out there in the real bad world, you know, we all go through stuff. So I've never shared that before, but tonight, just to be able to see him and celebrate New Year when 4 or 5 times, genuinely, we didn't know that he'd make it. You know, a couple of times in intensive care because of COVID. For some, it's very real COVID. It has huge complications for some. So anyway, it was just really nice to be around him. And while I was around him, it made me think, you know, about, I've always said 5 to 10 million apes that are in this plane. And we've all got lives and we've all got worries and stresses and strains, and we're everyday people, we're mums and dads, brothers and sisters, uncles and aunties, you know, and we never know what everyone's going through. And sometimes we'll see in social networks, Twitter or YouTube, or we'll see comments. And I'm a big advocate that for the most part it's bots, paid interns, it's haters. But there's also some people that just, they're having a bad day, bad week, bad month, some a bad year. Matthew fought tooth and nail for 2 years. I talked about fasting, benefits of stem cell production. I talked with his missus. You know, these are really important to me. These are really, really cherished people in my life. I'm thankful and I'm very lucky to have them. And to be out there tonight and celebrate New Year. So now I'm home. I've had a few beers. As you can see, I'm not looking my best. The old Barnet needs a bit of a trim. But I wanted to say thank you to everybody else as well. Yous. I've got no idea how many people watch, how many people won't. It's not important. It's important for me to be me. It's all I can ever be. And to say thank you. Thank you for the support. Thank you for the followers. Thank you for holding. Thank you for buying. Thank you for ignoring, for the most part, the bullshit, the FUD, the haters, the interns. And really, just to give you a chance. So in the chat, who we got? SU Ray's just popped up. SU Ray, we've had a couple of conversations over time. I'm sorry it didn't progress, is the truth. But I see you everywhere. You know, we had a chat not long after I first chatted in with Jay Brown. Great guy, heart in the right place. I think he wants to unite everyone. I think he's respectful of everyone. He maybe comes at it a little bit different to me, but he's a good guy. I've got no doubt. Lady Kim's just come up. Thank you for inspiration. It's not really inspiration, but I appreciate the kind words. I'm only ever me. You can actually rely on me. I know we've had an awful lot of people that have come and gone for different reasons. Some people have gone not because they're not good people, not because their heart ain't in the right place, or they don't want us to beat the man, or they don't believe in the play. They've just gone quiet. Some of that is because maybe they don't understand how the world works. Some of it is because they got too much flack. You know, even recently we've seen Bigham's, you know, rightly so, really credible of him to do it, that he's come out and apologised. He's been a bit ratty, he's been unwell. I've been unwell now for a couple of weeks. I 100% get it. It's hard to be at your best when you're not. And when you're really ill, or you're under the weather, or you're struggling with stuff, you know, sometimes it's hard just to sit there and just think, turn the other cheek, don't respond. But Bigham's, as man enough as he was, he did come out and apologise, been a bit shitty. I see it as justice. He even turned around and said about Trey looking 20 years older. I have very few regrets. I really do wish. You don't know me, I'm just some old fart from the UK. I really wish I'd have been one of those close to Trey. I wish I could have sat down with the boy, the man, you know, his military. I wish I really could have just sat down and chatted with him. I wish I could have got people that I really trust or know around him. I think it would have been a lot different. I don't give a fuck. Trey made $1 million, 500 grand, whatever. I know there's a lot of people out there that are saying we're doing this, we're doing that. Be wary of that. No one's ever approached me. I'm nobody. Don't have a voice. I've got people that appreciate the things that they have seen me say, but nobody sees what I say. I'm hoping in time that will change because of the message, not the messenger. You know, I can't remember who it was, but somebody flagged up in the last 24 hours. If you ever see this video, let me know. It was something to do with somebody else doing a rant, a speech. We need everybody to. But I'm not one that it's about me. I'm one of them people that's about the message. And if I have a way or a style or words that resonate, because words ultimately are just words, unless they resonate. And if I ever say something that resonates with the majority, then that's when hopefully I can do the best work I've ever done. It's hard sometimes, you know, and you all know this, everyone watching, everyone who will watch, millions that don't watch. You know, we've all got our ways and our style and things we want to get out there. We'll see what happens. But Kiwi girl, it's lovely to see you. They're definitely not a nobody. Keep fighting, no regrets. That's very kind of you. A lot of people maybe misunderstand what I mean by a nobody. I'm you. I'm us. I am proud to be a part of the 99%. I fought my battles. Maybe tonight's stream, I'm not planning on doing a quick one. It would depend on the feedback and the engagement and people watching. What questions are asked. So I'm in no mad rush tonight. I want to say thank you to the community. So if people have got questions that I can answer, I will. And we'll see how it plays out. But I'm in no mad rush. I'm just like you. I'm no different. I'm maybe a lot older than the majority of people. And I'm all right with that. I don't bring all the answers, but I bring some wisdom, I know, some truth that I know, a way of looking at the world, I know. I've done it since I was 10. So we'll see what happens with the questions. But let's see if I can't bring them up. I'll chat, let's have a look. I don't know. Oh, there you go, that's a bit better. Hopefully it ain't in, well, it don't matter if it's in Miami. I never lost, just I'm so free, 23, good to see you. Who else we got? Let's have a look. So I don't ramble all night because I have had a couple of beers, but Maximus Decimus Meridius, new in the think tank, I believe. Here's to a kick-ass 2023. I quite agree. Let's have a look. What else we got? Oh, I don't want to hide chats. I want to see them. Kick-ass 23. Flip 32. Happy New Year, brother. Right back at you. Free Kekistan. Agreed on fasting, regardless if it helps, which I doubt it will. It's great for your health. Free Kekistan, stay with us. Hopefully you can. I know it's New Year's Eve. You'll probably be out with your family, etc. But if you can, anyone who isn't going out, that might have a wife, a husband, some family round them that don't know about this play, bring them in. Bring them in. I know I'm some old fart from the UK who don't mean nothing. When I say I'm a nobody, I'm not a financial expert. Never pretended to be. But maybe I've got a way tonight, if the right questions come up or I get onto a little bit of a rant, that I won't bang on about my friend Matthew. God bless him. But I will start getting into some nitty gritty things that maybe I haven't said before. Maybe some questions, you know, if you're sat there next to your wife or your husband, they go, well, what the fucking hell do I want to watch him for? Or what's this all about? Put it in the chat and let me see it. And I'll see what I can do. Free Kekistan, I'm not going out, I have no life. There's many a new year and I've seen many of them. Thankfully, hopefully, a few more, where I've actually been indoors. Free choice. Lots of friends, thankfully, over my lifetime. That goes up and down depending on where I've been. I've had some real lows and I've had some real highs. Sometimes when I think I'm at my absolute best, I've had a very quiet New Year. And sometimes when I think I've been at my absolute worst, I've had a very busy New Year. It's kind of weird. You learn that as time goes by. My dear Nan, the most important person I've ever met in my life, always said to me, if you get to 50, I'm 51, and you got 5 people you can count on in life, you're very rich. I've never forgot it, and she taught me that from when I could first listen and understand what she was saying. I miss her dearly. She passed away at a young age for me and for her. I always think about her. She said that to me and she was a wise woman. Very true. Reef, smart lady. She really was. Yeah. Mountains and valleys, my friend, make us who we are. 100% Lady Kim, nice to see you in the chat. Maybe tonight, if I'm asked the questions, I'll open up a little bit more on Wolfie, who I am. For all those who don't know, my name's Darren. Might have ruined it for you, take away the mystique, but I'm real. I'm not going anywhere. I'll probably hold more longer than most of you. I want the fuckers to bleed, and I believe in why we're here and what we're doing. So I'm not special, but I want payback. So we'll see what happens. I'll keep looking at the chat. Tonight's video really is to say thank you. Thank you for the support. I know I say a lot for anyone who does follow. I don't do what I do to generate likes, etc. But I definitely do it to get the message out. I can't send you a super chat from Froggy. I don't know what that was. Thanks, Wolfie. Let's have a look. I'm trying to stay up with the chat, so bear with me. I can't send you a super chat from Froggy. Crap. Love you, my friend. 51, you're a baby. Love you, Wolfie. You should take a super chat and donate. A great charity. Surprise, it's Grandpa Barney. Nothing I do is to take a cent. I'll never make a cent. There's chat about possibly having some sort of involvement with the sequel to the Wall Street Conspiracy. I'm not going to go any deeper than that. It's not why I'm here. I am here for the message. So if there is anything I can do, anything I've ever said, any chats, boss blunts, I absolutely adore that, man. People don't give him enough credit. It really, very few things piss me off in this world, but that's one of them. He is legit, he is decent, he is honourable. I've spoken to him many, many times. These people who want to attack him because let's keep it positive. He's a good guy. In my personal opinion, he is a fantastic guy. I wish him nothing but the very best in all he does. But we got possibly a chance to play some sort of, role. It doesn't mean I'm going to be in the film, don't mean I'm not going to be in the film. But I don't care. I just want put Darren Saunders in there with his story. How many in the chat, how many watching at the moment have seen the Wall Street Conspiracy? I know I talk about it a lot. Go with me tonight. I'm in no rush tonight. So you can ask your questions when you are. If I see them, I'll answer them if I can. And we just chat, just spend a bit of time together. How many have seen the Wall Street Conspiracy? Because I know a lot of people haven't. And then with the sequel, when that comes out, I can't wait. I can't wait. Has everyone seen the Wall Street film worth mentioning? It was worth the two, but Maximus Decimus, 100%. Phoenix Ascending, it's lovely to see you from the think tank. There's a few in here. Grandpa Barney, as always. I was being funny. Yes, she was. Mark Reno, I've seen it. Good. Richard Stewart, yeah. Like I was tasked with when you said it. We are here because of government, we remember. Bloody right, we remember. I've seen it. It's good to see that you've seen it. So, for anyone who might watch this video at a later date, Maximus, you've already said it. Is it worth the $2? Now, I can't go into detail because we're waiting. Boss and I were vetted. Wes, who's also involved with the Wall Street Conspiracy, he was in it. He got mixed up. He now does due diligence. And as he said, and I'm sure, I hope to believe that it wouldn't upset him, me saying it, that was his schoolboy error. That shouldn't have happened. But he got involved with somebody and it ended up, becoming a big hoorah, rightly so. But there was an awful lot of people that were like, thank God for that. Reason being that they could use that so that none of you ever watched it. Well, for those who have watched it, was there Congress people in it? Was there SEC involved in the discussions and talks? The TCC mentioned. Mainstream media, playbooks. Did you have great people like Mark Falk? Christina Lee Copeland put together what I thought was a great film. Let's have a look at your responses. Victor, I've said it. Brilliant. Everybody should see it, says Isaiah. Darren Saunders is the OG. Bloody right he is. Do you know what? He's one of my genuine life heroes. Isaiah, thank you for saying that because it means I don't have to. I can just repeat it. But bloody right. Cody, Happy New Year, Wolfie. You're one of the real ones. Thank you for all you do. Right back at you, Cody. I'm glad you're one of us. Stay with us. Ignore the FUD. I'm going to get into that tonight and all. So yeah, for me, Wall Street Conspiracy has all the answers. History. 10 years ago. A lot of you might not know, because I never knew until I spoke to Christina Lee Copeland. They actually started making the Wall Street Conspiracy in 2002. 6 years before 2008. 10 years before it was released. 10 years before they bottled it, the SEC, Congress, the regulators, they've had it their own way for too long. Now, the significance for me, and I hope people get it, I'm sure you do, you're intelligent individuals, the significance for me about the prequel, Down the Rabbit Hole, you've got something that's 10 years apart. You've got a lawyer that's never been shut down, never been sued, never had his licence taken. You've got people that were in Congress that knew from 2002, because the film was being made, but definitely by 2012 when it was released, they knew. Mainstream media must have known. CEOs, CFOs must have known. So when you start joining the dots, if you go back and look through all my own videos, I'm not saying you got to, I'm just saying if you follow me long enough and you look at me, you'll start to understand how I work. I won't spoon feed you. I won't tell you what to think. I'll show you where to go. That's why I want your wife or your husband that might be sat next to you New Year's Eve and you haven't gone out, you've got the kids, or you might have money worries, or you just want to be alone, just the two of you. You might be sat there now watching me, some old fart from the UK, thank you. Appreciate you watching. However, you might have some of these questions. Well, you could go and watch that film now. Little bit of info. We are waiting, since Boss and I got vetted, and they did Wes Christian and everybody else involved with the film, the sequel, they did their DD on me and Boss. So they went through, I'd imagine, all our Twitters, everything we've ever said. They was aware of Boss Blunt's think tank, they was aware of his video channel, YouTube channel, they was aware of everything that he had to say. And through me and Boss ended up sitting down and we went through and we spoke to Christina, and then we spoke to Mark Folkson. He's an incredible guy. A lady that you might not have heard of or realised, Joni. You're going to hear about her. There's other people. I'm so desperate to tell you. One of my most emotional moments in 2 years came from talking on a Zoom call. Genuinely. I mean, this was right up there with the birth of my children. God's honest truth, it really was. In time, it will come out, but for now, I can't say much more about that. But you will hear it. You will see it. You'll understand it. And in time, you're going to build up more and more of an understanding of who I am, what I'm about, why I'm here. And this particular person just blew me away. It was incredible. So for me, do we as a group, it's not because I might not appear in the film that it's important. It really isn't. And I'm sure most people watching get it. How do we have a film in 2012 about naked shorting? Shorts marked as long. How do we have a lawyer and people in Congress? How do we have a congressman going into Congress to say, look, this is an issue? How do we get told in 2009 that $100 trillion had already been sold, already been stolen? How does all that happen and nothing gets shut down? Christ, it's America. In the UK, we're led to believe that everyone gets sued. Well, this film was released, it was shut down, it didn't get seen by the masses. But now we've got a sequel coming out, and that will involve us, apes. It might not involve me, it might. I very much doubt it will involve me. But it'll involve this story, this fight. AMC, GME, and other things. Christina Lee Copeland, capital K, capital L _ Copeland is on Twitter. She has actually asked for you to contact her. Give her info. Tell her what you think's important. How are you not going to be in it? How are apes not going to play a part in this film? The biggest thing for me is I knew what I bought. I knew why I bought it. I knew the company that I bought it in. All the rest for me is just noise. I ain't going to sell because of what comes up on mainstream media or on Twitter. I'm not going to sell because some twat in a hat on Twitter. I make my decisions on my education, my understanding. I don't need to tell you what to do. I'll just tell you where to look. And if other people beat me to it or are better, Bigums and Boss Blunts, go and watch their videos, full of education, full of understanding, full of things to look at. I don't need to tell you what to do. You're an adult. You worked hard, you put your money in, you bought what you bought. If you want to sell, you sell. If you want to buy, you buy. If you want to hold, you hold. I know that we've all held. I've got my own opinions on who we are, the 90% of the 90% that hold AMC shares. There's GME as well. I'm a big fan of GME. It's just not as vocal, maybe, as it once was. It'll do its thing. They all will. And it's critically important. VW squeeze, which a lot of us talk about. What changed? Fuck all. 1901, there was a squeeze because of a railway company. What changed? Fuck all. So we end up in a position where things happen, we all get caught up, new things come out, and we all like, whoa! I don't. I don't give a shit. They could come out tomorrow and say anything they wanted. I still wouldn't sell. I'd still hold my shares. I don't trust much. I do trust people. I do trust us. I do trust buy and hold. I do trust that we, in actual fact, whilst it would be really nice that it happened in a week, a month, a year, 2 years, we're still bloody waiting. It would have been nice if it happened earlier. But I've never been that way. I will hold till the day it's over. And whatever that means, we can affect an awful lot of change. Immaterial of it going there or going there. Where do I think it will go? Of course I think it will go there. And the rule changes. Everyone gets excited about the rule changes. I'll give an example only once before. I'm going to repeat it now. I run a union and I represented a guy that had been dismissed or was being dismissed. And I had 52 bullet points. I covered everything. I was like Clouseau. Pretty much I was actually, because I was brand new and I was super eager and I thought I knew everything and I was full of vigour and we'll never lose and I've got to fight for everybody. How I grew up. But here I was in this position where I had to go in and represent somebody. It was a disciplinary at work. And I had 52 bullet points. And when I went in there, after about an hour and a half, and I started at bullet point 1, 2, 3, 4, I worked my way, I was about halfway down. And about halfway down, the guy, that's it, I'm not listening no more. Don't blame him. I'm not listening to no more. We're going to have a recession. And then when we come back in, we're going to give our findings. So we went out. The guy I was with and all, I was like, it's all part and parcel, it's just a game. So anyway, we went out. When they were ready, they called us back in. Of course, they sacked him. I felt terrible. You know, this guy had a mortgage. This guy had a house. This guy had family. This guy had kids. He was a good guy, somebody I'd worked with a long time. We played golf together. I felt terrible. And I'm in a position where I went in to represent him and the guy sat opposite me and the HR person decided they were going to sack him. So you have a right to appeal. When a much more knowledgeable guy than me come down, he said, what have you got? So I said, I've got all this, 52, I've got 52 bullet points. Absolutely proves this guy didn't do what he's been accused of doing. No way should he be sacked. Let's have a look at him. And he sat there and he quickly read through. And he went, we only need the first 3. So I said, what are you on about? Yeah? I've got 52 bullet points. I worked really hard on this. There's loads and loads of work in this. I've done loads and loads of investigation. But we don't need it, Darren. We only need the first 3. And it's a bit like this play. It's great that we know all the ins and outs. It's great that we know, but we've known for 20 years, some of us. We've known that naked shorting exists. We didn't need the woman on CNBC to come out and go, naked shorts, and everyone go crazy. Because I watched the Wall Street Conspiracy. I knew about Wes Christian, Mark Fultz, Susan Trimbath, Lucy Commissar. I knew about all these great people. Darren Saunders. May you rest in peace. I knew about Overstock. I knew about VW squeezing. I knew about the 1901 squeeze. I knew this had always happened. I knew the market and the rich got richer and everybody else got poorer. I know every time a market crashed, we lose our houses, we lose our jobs, we lose how we were getting ahead. It's almost like it's a playbook by the very, very, very top that control everything else in the spider's web right round the planet, so that we never, as a majority of the 99%, get too far ahead. Because if we get ahead, what happens? Do we want to do the road sweeping? Do we want to work in the hospitals? Do we want to work in the military? Do we want to work on the first line response? How the fuck is it every time, immaterial points, 9/11, heroes, everyone who responded, heroes. Now, can't get pay rises. The UK, we've got people going out on strike right across the country. Can't get pay rises. 2 years ago in this country, because of the pandemic, heroes. We was out banging pains in supporting it. 2 years later, they can't get a pay rise. We're facing inflation. America hasn't seen its inflation. Oh my God. There's too many smart people out there that have shown proof, but we don't hear that. They ain't going to prepare you. They're not going to tell you. They're not going to warn you. That's our role. 5 to 10 million apes are trying to warn everyone. Take a look. As long as we take a look, we can see what happens. So the film would be one of them things. The people in it are worth listening to. All this noise about Wes Christian, absolutely crazy. Who ultimately don't want you to listen to a lawyer that's fought court cases, won court cases, that's got 2,500 lawyers around him, not in his actual practice, but within others? He's been out there fighting this for 20 years. Why would you not listen to him? Oh, I don't trust him. I'm aware in America, you're very, very strong in your political beliefs. You're Republican or Democrat. I get that. I'm not even going to start talking about that tonight. So you won't watch this program. You won't watch that program. Well, that's for them. That's for us. We stay separate. Okay, each to their own. I'll get that. It's the same thing in everything. So when it comes to a guy like Wes Christian, immaterial is history for apes, the history that we know as apes, getting involved with Chad and that. What about the info you can provide? If you flag up PetePetite.com, go on Biggums, I've said it before, go on Biggums, he's got it up there. I talked about this last year. I've known about it for a while. I don't care about credit, I don't want to be first, I don't want to be mainstream media. I do my own work. When I talk about things, it's things that I know, I've researched and I've looked at, etc. I might have a different interpretation to other people, but God's honest truth, it's the truth how I feel. I say what I mean what I say. Pete Petite is another perfect example. That was written and released. And if you go out there and you look at it, you'll see it's a playbook. If you might have seen it and not even realise it was by Pete Petite. It's got in it, I think it's 3rd or 4th page, but it's got in it an iceberg. And you can only see the top of it. And then as it breaks down, it shows you. And then as you go right through, it's different font sizes. It looks like something, 10-year-old at school would do. The reason it got attacked, like so many things in life, but the reason it got attacked was because Pete Petite got fined £1 million or whatever and went to prison. So people dismissed it. Oh, he went to prison. Oh, he got done for fraud. Well, fuck me. If you know how this world works, as soon as somebody goes against the status quo or them, this all comes out. They'll go after you. Wes Christian, he's been around a long time. That man knows his stuff. Why? Because he's still here. You can't fight against the status quo, the mafia, the cartel, the cabal, whatever wording you want to use. Me, the cancer in the market. You can't fight against that and not get attacked. It's not how it works. You can go on Twitter and you can be screaming and complaining and that's fine. They probably ain't going to come out of you. But if you go into a court and you start pulling up JP Morgans of the world, you're going to get attacked. And you're going to have smart fucking people with a lot of money coming after you. And when they come after you, you better know what you're doing. He's still here. How the fuck have we got some unknown twat on Twitter criticising West because of Chad, and we don't listen to him. It's fucking crazy. We've been in this play 2 years. Start listening to Wolfie and a few others. You get the info where you want it. When I rarely watch the news anymore. I've not read a newspaper in 30 years. I've done my own research. I've watched. You don't have to talk all the time. You just watch. And when you do, the world starts becoming a lot clearer. I haven't watched any conspiracy theorists. I don't buy into all these sort of different stories because I don't have to. All I do need to know is my path, my parents, my social environment, my political understanding, my reasons for running a union, my reasons for getting involved in fights to protect people. You do you, I do me. I'm talking as me. This is my life, my way of looking at things. Wes Christian is somebody with valuable information we should listen to. Share intel was another thing within the community. Oh, we can't go to court and all that. I never ever said we should. I don't even think we need to, as long as you're patient, as long as people are old. As long as we do that, they can't get what we don't sell. And if we don't sell the shares, they can't close. If they can't close, they've got to carry on doing what they're doing. And for everyone getting up in arms every time a rule changes or a DTCC announcement, etc., I don't. You do you, but I don't. And I'll explain why I don't. Crime brought you here. Crime kept you here. What are you moaning about? Honestly. I get the frustration, I get we want it over, I get that we might have reasons and everything, and I've covered that 1,000 times before. What are you moaning about? They're criminals. They thieve from the 401ks, from companies. They shut businesses down, they bankrupt them. What are you moaning about? Oh, it ain't happened quick enough. Oh, it's unfair. Of course it isn't unfair. It ain't fair. It's how it works. It's what you're fighting. You know, we just seen the reverse repo. Highest it's ever been. I remember the reverse repo when it first went to $3 million. It's like, fucking hell. Why? Same reason 2008 happened. They got all the players, all the game, all the rules, all the tools. Nothing's changed. They had the Fed, they had the printer, they had Congress, they had SEC, they got mainstream media, got all the suits. They still couldn't stop 2008 market crash. Why? Because they'd made their bets. The mortgages had been sent out. The ninja loans had been done. The credit default swap come in to counteract the market-backed securities because they knew it was going to go to shit, but they couldn't stop it. And we were in the same position, different side, we were in the same position. They were shorting and shorting and shorting. 20 years they've been naked shorting within the New York Stock Exchange and globally. This isn't my opinion, this is factual. Let the haters come at me, let them come. I can come back with facts, I can come back with court cases, I can come back and say, here's the proof. I'm just some nobody from the UK, but I know what I'm talking about regarding this. That's why I say it. I mean what I say what I mean. So there's court cases out there that prove it happens. You know, Gasparino, if you want to respond to anything Gasparino says, please, just ask him one question. Does naked short selling exist in the markets? Everything else we shouldn't entertain. Because it just gives him that, oh, everyone's looking at me, look at me. Have a look at how many followers he's got in his engagement. There's fuck all unless it's apes. Now he's starting to get views because apes still want to look at him. Why? Same reason why we've got some people that were apes that are now flipping. Some people that were apes that are now casting shade, casting shadows. Well, I haven't been accepted by the community. No, because you're a narcissistic prick. You're a dumbass. You're in it for yourself. You don't care about people. You don't care about us. You just want to be a voice. You want to be up there. You want to be known. Well, you are what you are. You are the message that you send. And if you send one of divide, people aren't going to follow you. If you send one of hate, people don't want to hear it. What we want to hear is information, facts. What we want to hear is support. What we want to hear is where to look. We don't want to hear off some fucking twatty looking, you've got to do this, you've got to do that. No, we don't need to do that. So if you ain't got the followers, I haven't got a great following. I'll still do what I do because I don't divide. I don't attack by name. I have a go about certain things that I feel are important at the time. But I'm just trying to do my little bit to contribute because I've watched it for too long. Not special. Really not special. I'm a grandfather. I'm a father. I want them to have a better chance than what we've got, what we had. And with the young uns today, I'm more inspired than I've ever been. That's the truth. This battle isn't about what rule changes are coming in or coming out. That's what they want you to understand or what they want you to believe. It's important to know afterwards so that we can say, bollock, go and have a look. This happened, that happened, these were doing it, that happened. It's not that important. What is important is getting the message out. It's waking people up. It's reaching out. It's never giving up. It's never stopping. Every day you put a tweet out, I've only got one person, 5 people, 50, it doesn't matter. That's 1, 5, 50 people. I've seen tweets of people today that I've never seen before, heard of before. It's how it works, but you keep going. Because somebody out there might go, oh, what's that about? Well, when you've got idiots out there, ignore them. Don't give them time. They're the ones that have got the big followings. People who create divide, because the people that want that divide are the people following them. Anyway, it's crazy. Right, I'm going to put the chats up. I've had a little ramble. I'm here all night. Let's see what people got to say. Wolfie, what's up, mate? Let's have a little look. Please work tonight, chat. Honestly, I want yous in it. PVV, nice to see you, my friend. Richard, nice seeing you. Let's fucking go. That's correct. Kenny's going for Lady Kim, nice to see you. Who's the A proud? Oh, I like it when I see you all chatting on each other. Wolfie, looks like Australian cricket player. It's the lighting. Captain Awesome, nice to see you. Got a few people in here from the think tank. It's such a great place, the think tank. Do you know that? I'm going to be honest with people now. Sometimes get a little bit nervous in the think tank because people start talking about politics, but it's not mine, it's bosses. But you know what I am really proud of? We sort of had this every now and again within the think tank, and everyone's still there. Everyone comes together, stands together. So age, sex, political belief, where you're from, it don't change nothing. I like that. I really like that. As you right, I did with that. Let's have a look. Looking forward to the sequel. And me, Phoenix. I can't wait for that, honestly. I really, really can't wait. That might end up perfect timing. I know it's maybe don't make sense to a lot of people, but this is I'll put my money in with total belief of why I bought what I bought. Nothing changes that. The rule changes, mainstream media, the hate genuinely really doesn't. I've spent many a year where people are going, you won't, you can't, you're never gonna. I always did. I'm not saying that I'm perfect or brilliant or fucking clever or smart or I've just go by my life. And when people say to me I can't, invariably I can, and I have. So I'm in a position where when I look at all this stuff going on with rule changes, I don't care what the rules are. Let's say they turn around and go, it is now legal to naked short share. What, you think we're the only people on the planet that are going to turn around and go, oh, no, of course we ain't. You're going to have every CEO, CFO, everybody on the planet saying it. Because we might not see it, doesn't mean it ain't going on in the background. Then you've got Wes Christian and his 2,500 lawyers, and you've got Christina Lee Copeland, you've got Susan Trimbath, and you've got Pulitzer writers, and there's enough people out there going on. So, you know, at the moment, there's a big thing in Europe where they want to change the rule and stuff. Yeah, when it happens, people go, well, you should get involved now, you should stop it now. Christ, if we're right, and I think we are, 100%, I believe we are, when we're right, all that disappears, all this crap, all this control. At the moment, it's not us that decide what rules do or don't come in. It isn't. It's the same people that got it market maker exempts. It's the same people that worked out how to use crypto. It's the same people that worked out all the loopholes, same people that got the SEC and DTCC to implement or cover or hide or whatever. We're not going to change that. They're going to keep doing it. What we need to do is get louder, stand stronger, shoulder to shoulder, bring more people in, more eyes on it, shine a light, keep putting the pressure on it. And when the market crashes or some other catalyst, then we're in a position where all of it has to change. All of it has to stop. Because at the moment, it ain't the entire stock market. It's a cancer within the market that's doing everything it's doing. So I don't get overly excited about rules. But anyway, I keep going on little rants. It's because I've had a couple of beers. My thoughts about this unit want to pay us already. It would be nice if we got paid already, but be patient. Whether you like it or not, what other option you got? Your take on that all through the question that Carl Alitti asked. Right, let me scroll up and see what Carl Alitti asked. What did you ask, Carl? I like questions. You can hear me say it, I don't know. That's a bit too far scrolling up. Let's have a look. No, can't find it. Right, let me scroll down slowly. I'm glad to see Grandpa's getting aloft. We did that. Grandpa, you're a lovely, lovely man. You and your family. I hope you have a brilliant new year. Now, either you're in looking after all the grandkids and all the family, or you're getting ready to go out. Whichever way, I'm glad you're here. Vivian's here. Hello, Viv. Can't wait till after Mass and we can make out for a pint. Viv, I can't wait either. Honestly, there's so many of you, you included. It'd just be so nice. Just to sit there and just cheers. Just for that smile on our face, you know. You don't even have to say anything. Just got that face, that smile on your face to say, we were right, we knew, we held long enough, we were still there at the end. Now look what we've done. We'll be trying to get your... Rodania 2, apologies, I have scrolled up, but I can't see what that question was. So I'm going to pay more attention now to the chat and let's see where it takes us. I like the excitement of the journey. Gorilla Grod, always good to see you. Happy New Year, mate. Right back at you for you and all your family. GB is truly a blessed soul. Andrew, don't know who GB is, but... yeah, if you say it, I believe you. I've seen you around for long enough. What do you reckon about this Philip Lader fellow on AMC board? Daughter CEO Uniswap. Okay. Issued the 8 quadrillion AMC tokens. The 8 quadrillion AMC tokens, for a better example, go and see Boss. However, I don't believe it's 8 quadrillion that in actual fact affects us. I know that might sound a bit weird, and I haven't overly looked into it because... you know, maybe through today's discussion, I've got no time limit today, so we'll stay as long as it takes. You might understand a bit where I come from, what angle I come at, what road I'm travelling up, because I see people get way too caught up in things, and it's not my style. My style has always worked for me. I was right about crypto, I was right about running a union, I was right about fighting battles when I was 22, I always managed to win. You know, maybe my way just, I got lucky, or maybe I'm on to something, but time will tell. So when it comes to the other bit about Philip Lader on the AMC board, I did spend a little bit of time, not as much as I'd like, so don't quote me anywhere out in the big bad world. I'm aware that a couple of people went. I'm aware a couple of people come in. The people that went, the company, as far as I'm aware, were invested through AMC, tied in. And the contract says, whilst you are, then you've got on the board. And as soon as you ain't, year later, 12 months later, you exit the board. That's in keeping. The new people they come in, I was excited about. Apologies, can't remember her name right now. It's been a long night, been out, had a couple of beers. One of them come in, she was on about independent films, which gives me great hope for down the rabbit hole. I have tweeted Adam Aaron, bless him. You know, I have raised the questions. I've tweeted, you know, CV Payne, can you get Christina on to interview, etc., etc. I won't quit, but I can't do it every frigging day because it just looks boring. I'm waiting on news that hopefully will help. But anyway, people come and go in businesses. They do come and go. But one of the people that came in had experience and you know, fair play, had experience. A lot of people think it's kind of weird. I'll put it in simple terms in the UK football. Someone will go from Tottenham and play to Liverpool or Liverpool. Well, all the while they were, you know, Tottenham, they might, oh, we've got to beat Liverpool, got to beat Liverpool, got to beat Liverpool. As soon as we go to Liverpool, oh, we've got to beat Tottenham, we've got to beat Tottenham. Allegiances, loyalty, you got a job to do. And people around you will be looking to see if you do your job. I just see it like that. I don't get overly excited. There is a consideration, which I'm aware of, you know, that they can sometimes get the wrong people in the board. There's a big difference between us and Taser, us and Overstock, us and the 1901 squeeze of a railway company. 90% ownership of AMC is retail. It makes a huge difference. Firstly, the shareholders are not the people that a company borrowed the money off. And if they're not the people that the company borrowed the money off, it puts the company stronger automatically. If the company's owned 40% by somebody who bankrolls them, loaned them money, debt covenants, etc., it can put the company at a really weak position. It's a bit like as a shareholder through JP Morgan, you buy your shares through JP Morgan and then find out at a later date JP Morgan are loaning them out to short the company that you bought the shares through JP Morgan. 2008, ring a bell? They're not in it for us, they're in it for themselves. So it isn't as big a concern as I see some people. Now, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. If I'm right, I'm right. However, I sleep lovely of a night because I'm not telling you what I think. I'm just telling you in response to that question what I think. And I don't get overly excited. The way the world is set up, in my experience of 40 years of looking, and I'm no expert, it's a financial web. It's like a spider's web, and it goes right from the very top all the way around the planet. In every country, every bank, Fed Reserve, Bank of England, European Bank, it literally goes around. So you end up with an awful lot of people that sort of interact. We talked about the SEC back in the day, you know, last year was quite a big topic. Oh, the revolving door, it's been known about forever. You know, if you're a footballer, you might play for 50 different teams. I don't see it so different. Oh, is it a big issue? Is it something we should worry about? Is it something to be aware of? It's something to understand. It's definitely something to look into. I don't need to because it's got 5 to 10 million people. Somebody already is. Let them look into it. Put it out there, show you where to look, and then you go and look and stuff. I don't get overly excited about any of that. Probably the most simplistic term is I'm holding no matter what. I'd love to be rich. I'd love to be richer. But I'm holding no matter what. Until it's AMC's bankrupt or I'm stupid rich. And I will hold, I guarantee I will hold longer than most of you. Not just watching, most of you in the community. I want them to bleed. I want payback. I want justice. I want them to feel the pain that they've created for every individual on the planet. I don't know how long I'd have to hold to do that, but I don't need to make 100 million. And if I have to hold all the way up to 100 million and back down, I'm quite happy with that. So fuck you, you're not getting my shares. And the longer I hold gives other people the opportunity. So I don't give a shit about being rich. I'd love to die and on my gravestone it would say, here lies Wolfie. He said, fuck you. I do. You know, my kids are not rich people, but they got a heart. They know how the world works. They're doing all right. So if I can do something to my grandkids, my great-grandkids, is why I'm here. But if I have to keep fighting right to the tooth and nail and right at the very end in order to ensure that they pay the price and they don't get away with it and there's no let out or get out of jail cards, if people don't go to prison, I'll still be holding. come back and mark my words, I'll still be holding. So we'll see what happens. Right, anyway, I don't know what that chat was about. I hope you enjoyed it, but I do get on a ramble now. Wolfie, how are you voting? Big question, I know. My attitude is yes, yes, yes. But you have to do you. What I will say, which I think is important, I have always believed that the majority are not on Twitter. And the majority don't watch YouTube. And the majority ain't in Reddit. And the majority have always held. And they continue to hold. I have raised, who does hold? It could be early investors in crypto. It could be multi-millionaires that we don't know about. It could be people that are anti-establishment. It could be people that were hurt in 2000. There's a long, long list. People lost their homes in 2008. People that banks liquidated in the past. People who'd lost their businesses before that have been shorted to death into bankruptcy by these naked shorts. It could be a million different reasons. So I don't really think that how we vote, at least I don't think it's important or as big a deal for Twitter and YouTube and Reddit to think that we reach enough people yet to be able to influence anything. And if I had to stand in a court of law at some later day and I go, oh, bloody hell, Wolfie, you keep ranting and all that. Don't give a shit. I had like 3,000 followers on Twitter or whatever it was, and I had 500 views. I had 20 people watching online. Come on now. Adam Aaron said there's 4 million people. Now, if you go and if people think, oh, it's just, Wolfie talking that. Adam Aaron's the CEO of AMC. Now, you'd think there'd be a lot of people, more people following him than anybody else on Twitter. Go and have a look how many follow Adam Aaron. And if you go and have a look now, thankfully, courtesy of Elon, you might be one of them people that put up a tweet and get 50 responses. But now you can see that there's 2,000 people that have read your tweet that just don't comment. And that's often the way. That's how it is. Well, Adam Aaron, and I've seen recently, and I haven't looked at every tweet, but I see recently, was 1 million people. 1 million people that had looked at a tweet that Adam Aaron had put out. Well, that's 25% of 4 million. Now, I'd argue there's more people than 4 million. I think in this plan, I've always said it was 5 to 10 million spread across all of them. But so if we've got 4 million, keep it easy, and only 1 million look at a tweet from Adam Aaron, even Adam Aaron's only engaged in 25% of Twitter. Now, them 25% could be bots, interns, haters, the enemy, Gasparino, Kramer. But let's say it's apes, all apes, every last one of them ape, a holder, diamond-handed, never going anywhere. All right, so he's had 1 million views. He don't have 1 million followers, but he's got 1 million views. Okay, let's say it's apes. That's 25%. Oh, but Wolfie, you said 90% don't engage on time. Okay, so all right, let's say 75%. That's an awful lot of people that aren't on Twitter. So I don't get overly excited when all the drama comes out. I don't get overly excited because somebody with 80,000 followers creates the next drama. I don't get excited when people come out and go, oh, we got to do... No. I'm not interested in being liked. I'm not interested in getting hundreds of thousands of followers. I'd love a way, if somebody can come up with in the chats, find a way of how I'll get this message out about what's important to me. I'm all ears, because that's all I do. All the rest of it, the drama, all the people that want to jump and scream and shout and attack each other and fight, and all the bots fighting the fights, and the interns come out and the haters kick, I couldn't give a shit. Because ultimately, you're not reaching the majority. You're not. Let's say we got 25% on Twitter. Let's be polite and say 25% on Reddit. Let's say polite and we got 20% watching the YouTube videos. You do the math. Still an awful lot of people away from here. And I'd like to think if them same people, the same people that held through January 2021, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December, January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, like me, perspective. Why is everyone getting so excited? Because you're getting looked at? Because you're getting views? Why does Boss not do a video every day? Every day there's something, some drama, some crap, some... Why does he not do a video every day? Because he gets it. He understands it. He's running a business, he's got family, but he does the best he can for the community to provide valid information so that you know where to go and look, what to look at, what to question. But you ain't out there every day of the week going, watch this, watch that, this, that, and the other. That's why they have to do what they're doing, because that's what they're there for. And it's not unreasonable to cast aspersions where you look at somebody who suddenly flipped and say, oh, he must have been paid. Well, it's not unreasonable to think somebody somewhere who might be losing $100 billion doesn't think paying this idiot $1 million to go on his YouTube because he had 40,000 people that were following or 40,000 views and tell them to say AMC shit, Adam Aaron shit. I'm too old for all that crap. That's playground stuff. That's like, I'd rather concentrate on the three things. Remember I was talking about the union? So I represented, they sacked the guy. The expert comes down. Don't need your 52 bits. Don't need them. All I need is your first three. We're in the same position. Buy, hold, no one's selling. Buy, hold, no one's selling. Buy, hold, no one's selling. All the rest of it, 49 bullet points, yeah, they're important for some. For me, I need to know everything. Ins and outs of a duck's arse. Need to know exactly what's going on. I can prove everything. Can I change what the DTCC's doing? Right now, no. Is the truth, I can't. Can I put any pressure on them? Well, considering the government can't just walk in there and look at the books. Good luck. SEC, for years we've known about the revolving door and inaction and failure to crack things down and deal with things. Who dictates to the SEC what the SEC's powers are? Is it you? So good luck, keep slagging off the SEC. Go to Congress, they're the ones who grant the powers. You might not like it, God's honest truth, because Congress is there to do the bidding of the people above them. And it ain't the president. Is it fuck? It's the people right at the top. And at the moment, they're making all the money and they're keeping you where you are. They're keeping you in the army and the military. And they're keeping you, not because whether you want to or not, but because you ain't got no other choice. You're going to go and do it. Well, if all of us had access, all of us had education, all of us had a great life, all of us had a great social environment, maybe we wouldn't be doing some of these jobs. So it suits them to keep us in debt, suits them to keep us under control, suits them to keep us in our place. Because the minute we get ahead, market crashes, they take the houses, they take the jobs. It's all just one big fucking circle jerk. But for me, not interested. I buy, I hold, I'm going to wait. Simple. Don't have to get too excited. Don't have to worry about what anyone's doing. If people want to sell, they're going to sell. What the fuck can I do about it? Oh, no, I can't sell because no one's going to say that. Come on now. Oh, I've got a hold because so-and-so, that ain't going to happen either. The reason we're here, the reason why you're watching this and the reason why other people do get involved is because it's interesting. You know, it's what's next? Christ, have a look back last year. Did I, be honest with you, did I honestly think we wouldn't have seen the end, the final whistle in this last year? Fuck no. Christ no. And now we've just seen a new all-time high in the repo. That's how it works. There's a million things that I think should have happened. Ain't changed shit. A million things I think shouldn't have happened. Ain't changed shit. The important things, the three things, 3 bullet points right at the top. they've stayed the same. We bought, we held, no one sold. We bought, we held, no one sold. All the rest is drama. Now, some of you like drama. Some of them out there in the community like drama. Some of them like the fact that they get more clicks, more views, seen more with clickbait, and I don't do all that. I just can't be. Either you're going to want to hear what I've got to say, participate in these sort of things, you know, put things in the chat that we can all chat about and laugh about and joke about, or you ain't. If you're coming in there and you're saying, meh, 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 I'm not interested, it won't get time of day. I just wish everyone see it that way. Your wife's boyfriend, I've just seen this, I don't know what other chat's going on because I can't see it. Next week, if it isn't next week, the week after. Love Pantheon for that. There's some really good guys out there, and I paid attention. I put my reputation on them. Pantheon's one of them. Boss Blunts is another one. West Christian and the information that he can provide is another one. My belief in the benefit of down the rabbit hole is another one. Information that they sometimes talk about or provide that people should take notice of, CV Payne, is another one. You're not going to get everything you want off everybody, but you get your little bits here, there and everywhere. And if you can find the 3 bullet points that give you your faith, your strength and your perseverance, welcome to my world. I don't care what anyone else says. They're very much underestimating us and the power. Oh, I missed that one. That looked like a juicy one. Let's have a look. Who is that? Lady Kim, they very much underestimated us and the power we have. I can't imagine without the movement how long this corruption would go on. Lady Kim, so far 20 years, I guarantee it, 100%. Tell them Wolfie said. You want to sue me, get me into court? I don't give a fuck. Come and get it. 20 years. 2009, $100 trillion had been stolen from the United States markets, bonds and other things. Guy that said that, never been sued, never been shut down, never had his licence. West Christian, quoted it often. Grandpa's eating pumpkin raisins for cookies and milk. Aye, Grandpa Barney, that sounds like nice. Your wife's boyfriend, more market crash. Market crash, Christ man, I see on that. Oh, worst ever market since 2008. Wait until the headline says, worst ever market since 2029. Hi Pantheon, Happy New Year. I was complimenting Pantheon, but I didn't know he was in the chat. If he is, fucking Happy New Year to me. Happy New Year, Mr. and Mrs. P. Right, I'm going to try and work out, how do you keep the chat up so that I can respond to you? Because I know you've put up with me ranting, and that's very kind of you. Hopefully some of it's made sense. AA could screw us, but I believe in him and the company IMC needs us to manage them. Okay, so let's talk about AA screwing us. How can he screw us? Now, he'd have to do something pretty fucking blatant. Let's say he did. What could we do about his shareholders? Demand he's out. Now, you got people, fucking idiots right now saying, oh, Adam Arian, we got to get him out. Fuck off. You've got to have grounds as well. They might be out there in the Twitter world, etc., feeling rather brave. Do you know what? I honestly think if I make half what I expect to make out of this, I'm going to be suing some of these fuckers. For no other reason than just to fuck them off. Just to get at them. The reason being, it ain't even what they're saying that I'll give a shit. Because I honestly think some people are out there saying the things they're saying just to get views, just to get click. Because it works. Gasparino, it's a perfect example. You know, talk out your arse, say whatever the fuck you want. But as long as people are talking about you, we're doing, you know, acting like mainstream media. Got to be first, got to be controversial. Get people looking. As long as people are looking at me, fucking idiots. But I do think maybe half of the money I'll make, I'll just put out there and just go after these people. Do you know why? Because you could be putting a message out that is 100%, not your view or your opinion, but something factually 100%. Instead of casting aspersions or worry, or you're a little wet bitch that just think, yeah, I'm going to lose my money. Ain't all about you, you fucking idiot. We either all win or we all lose. Shut the fuck up. But if you're out there and you're saying things, do you know who might lose? What about the mum or dad that are working 2 jobs? What about the military personnel? What about the policeman or the ambulance worker? What about the angels that are working in the hospitals that were fucking heroes 2 years ago, can't get a pay rise? Wake the fuck up. Your message is shit. It don't add up to fuck all. You're not going to change fuck all. Oh, I'm going to go on a march and do what? You're a fucking idiot. But you do you, I'll do me. You want to go on a march? Come back after and tell me how much it achieved. I've been on marches with 600,000 people. I've been on marches with over 1 million people. You go on a march, tell me what you feel better. Oh, you organised a little march, did you? Oh, fucking grow up. You're already in a march. 5 to 10 million people are in the most peaceful, non-violent, hard to attack march there's ever been. I'm 51 years old, I've been watching. You bought something, you hold it, it's your protest. When you come out, it's not fucking screaming at the people you should be screaming at. Oh, but APE's gone down. Oh, but of course it's fucking gone down. It's what brought you here, you... It's what brought you here. They're naked, short, selling AMC stock without a locate. They're marking shorts as longs. They are cooking the books. They're hiding things. They're sending them to Brazil. They're sending them all over the place. They're using the Bahamas. Fuck me, come on now. But you want to stand there and go, oh, Adam Aaron. The price is going down because that's how it works. The price is going down because normally that's how it works to make you sell. Nobody's selling. So after 2 years, you're still out there. You know, I don't want to name them. I'd like to reach out and just say, fuck's sake, look, just understand that even if you're right, it don't change shit. But it ain't helping anybody. And there's too many people to help. The only people you're helping is the other side. You know, you might not be. You might be 100% resolute. You might be 100% staunch, you know, brilliant person, but you're getting it all wrong. You're getting it all wrong. And in time, you're not going to do any damage to the overall end outcome. The overall end outcome is going to be decided way beyond you as an individual. It's going to be a collective. It's going to be a market crash. It's going to be margin and liquidation. It's going to be somebody where they've just run out of time. It's not going to be down to some idiot that organised the march. Some person who's just gone on there and attacked Adam Aaron. Some person who wants to flag up who the new person working at AMC is. None of that is going to change shit. Even if you were right, ain't going to change shit. You bought, you hold. If 90% of the company is owned by AMC, that takes an awful lot of power. When people want to talk about, oh yeah, but over this, over that. Listen, we're 90% owned by retail. That changes a lot of things. Go and do your own homework. I'm not here to lip service people or sugarcoat it or spoon feed you or tell you got to listen to me. I keep telling everybody I'm a nobody from the UK. Go and do your own work. Me, I've never been more resolute. Never been more convicted in my play. Never more supremely confident. The fact that I waited 2 years later, Burry waited 2 years. Do I felt I'm going to be waiting another 2 years? No, but I did think I wouldn't have to wait the entire 2022. And here we are. Did you leave? Did you sell? So we're not selling. So calm the fuck down. Oh yeah, but they got 8 down to 66, yes. Of course they fucking did. They got no choice. When will they not have a choice? When everyone's screaming they were right, when everyone's screaming hallelujah, fucking praise the Lord. We're like mainstream media channels. We're like Gasparinos and it's just like, fuck me, really? Anyway. I wish Pantheon was in the chat right now. How the hell do you get the chat to stay up? Because every time I go on a little to answer a question, I miss the rest. But let's have a look. You'll have to bear with me. I'm an old fart, yeah? I would love to protest for real. You are protesting. You bought, you held, and you won't sell. And no matter what they throw at you, the tear gas, the rubber bullets, the police round knocking on your door, blah, blah. That's what they're doing with mainstream media and the haters and the knockers and the paid interns and the bots. And you're just there and you're going, no, 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 no. You're already in a protest. Happy New Year, Pantheon. I've never trusted AA, but I've changed my mind on him. He's now pissed. And what he's doing now will cause massive change in a good direction for us. Jose, I do get that people are struggling to trust. One of the things that I looked at, I've met Adam Aaron, I've shook his hand, I looked him in the eye, I read his body language, I watched him when he was interacting with everyone. He might be a brilliant actor, better than Tom Cruise. Yeah, he's a good enough actor. Yeah, better than Tom Cruise. I come away with my own beliefs. That aside, don't bother me. Doesn't bother me in the slightest. I think they had more success having us sell if the price went up, just saying. Yeah, that's all right. Buy more. Hello, Wolfie Home. I'm here to support you, my friend. Pantheon, you are an absolute legend. Honestly, don't get enough credit. I wish you could do more. I understand why you can't, same as me. But I do wish you could do more. There's some good guys still out there, but thankfully we've lost a lot of the fucking idiots. Boss Blunts I'm eternally grateful for, and I know you are as well, because he's another one. He don't do videos every day, but when he does, I think they're always doozies. That last one with the interview, a lot of people I think maybe don't get enough out of that. I absolutely love them. I think the info that's provided and stuff, you know. I think maybe some people, the majority of the vocal that we hear off, tend to go, oh, if you're not telling he's going to squeeze, and maybe they get a little bit, you know, but anyway. Right, so I'm now concentrating on the chat, finally. Oh, I didn't drink me coffee. I feel good about 2023. We know what we hold. Andrew Francese, I 100% agree. I talk about 2008 and I talk about Burry a lot. He gave him 2 years notice. This is important. This is one of the things that gives me a lot of strength because of how I look at the world. He gave him 2 years notice. Give me a minute. Apologies for that. It's my only vice. Burry placed his bets in 2006. What a lot of people don't know is Burry was looking at the housing market from 2000. But he placed his bets in 2006. 2007, if you believe the Big Short, the market should have crashed, but it didn't. The credit rating agency didn't come back and downgrade. They weren't paying attention. We had AAAs being mixed up with fucking garbage, dog shit, cat shit wrapped in dog shit. Go and watch the film. It gives you an indicator. There was a massive story that was left out of that, and it will come out in time. It really will. What you're fighting. Naked shorting other stocks within the market and that. They all knew what was coming. They all knew what was coming. They always fucking do know. Why do they get richer and we all get poorer? Why do they tell you to buy Apple? Who's selling Apple when they're telling you to buy it? Hang on a minute, everyone's pushing Apple saying it's going to be a $3 trillion market cap. You didn't hear that, Joe Blogs. Average Joe, working hard. Oh, I'll put some money into that. Pensions might hear it. Oh, Apple's going to go up. Apple's going to go up. Oh, over time, it's fine. We're just going to go. It's lost $900 billion since they said it. Shit, man. This is how the game works. They tell you to buy because they're selling it so that they can get out. So, never discussed this before. You tell me what you think. A billionaire decides that they're going to buy a brand new company. That brand new company is Wolfie. They get in at the ground level, they're buying it. When they're buying it, the multi-millionaire is looking over and thinking, who's buying that Wolfie stock? I don't know, but they're buying a lot. So I'll tell you what, I'm going to get some of that. And they start buying it. Once they bought a fair amount, they then turn around and go, all the 100,000 heirs, I'll tell you what, buy Wolfie stock. Now the 100,000 heirs are coming in. Now the pensions are being told, and now the retail are seeing the price go up, and the FOMO kicks in, and everyone jumps in, they're all buying Wolfie. And as it goes up, who's the first person to sell? Billionaire. Buy Hood. Do you remember the IPO? Go and have a look at the IPO, see how successful they are. Then go and have a look at things like a Unicorn. See how many people ain't taking their companies now public. They're keeping them private. Go and have a look at the increase. It's like playing poker with $1,000, sitting down at a table, and the other 8 players around the table have all got $1 million. Chances of you walking out with your 1,000 have just dropped significantly, and it's the same as the market. Somebody who got in first with $1 billion and bought, as it's riding up, because the millionaires, the 100,000 heirs, and then the pensions, and then you and retail and the jobs and the four, it starts going up, and then the billionaire goes, oh, I'll sell 25%. You don't sell it straight away. He goes out with mainstream media or whoever, and it's just my theory. He goes out mainstream media in the suits and he tells everyone, buy Apple, it's going to hit 3 trillion or whatever the story is at the time. And then we come in and we start buying it, and they're the ones selling it. And they're selling it because they bought it down here, but it's now up here. So they sell it, and then as they sell it, you're buying it, sort of just pitters about. And then when the buyers stop coming in, and they've sold most of it, they've dumped whatever else they wanted to get rid of, and it drops. And then when it starts dropping, people start worrying. Then they start, millionaires like, what the fuck's going on? Billionaire must be selling. Look at the 13K, have a word, ring up, do this, talk to. Oh, hang on, we're selling. And then it trickles back down. And then guess what happens when it gets back down here? Billionaire comes in, buys it up again. Then the millionaire comes in, buys it up again. And then the 100,000 here comes in, he buys it up again. And then the pensions come in, and it goes back up. And then the billionaire, and it repeats, and it repeats, and it repeats, and it repeats, and it repeats. That's how the fucking hell they get richer and we all get poorer. Just a theory. Go and have a look. Just a theory. Anyway, back to the chat. Right, who's not going out tonight? It's New Year's Eve. I can't believe there's people in there. Pantheon, share your knowledge, brother. Clue them up. Regulations call for 30-day window review, then they can proceed. This is about, I'd like to know this actually. I even tweeted Adam Aaron, a bit cheeky. But it's just like, I wish people would shut the fuck up until they'd spoken and told us, and then we can start really looking at what's going to happen next and how it's going to happen. Pantheon, as soon as you're here, and a fountain of knowledge, when the, now we've been told so far, Pantheon, pay attention, hope you're listening. We've been told so far that we're going to vote on APE converting back to AMC. And we're going to vote on a 10-to-1 reverse split. Has it appeared anywhere where it says, it's all instantaneous? So what I mean by that is, the moment that they have a date, a time for APE to convert back to AMC is the same instantaneous moment that it will then be converted back 10-to-1. If you know the answer, I'd appreciate it. If you don't, it's not an issue, because I have tried to look, but I haven't seen that anywhere. Just the fact that we're going to have this vote, and it's a bit generic, it's a bit out there, but I haven't seen the answer to that. And I did ask Adam Aaron, can he confirm the timing of that, you know, the convert back to AMC, etc. I'm here for the ride, what have you done? My primary racing license. Oh, do you know what, Richard? I wish I knew you. I've got a problem with my boiler at the moment. I get on the $50, literally getting people's poops for me. Sorry, Richard. Sorry, mate. I thought my job was getting on my nerves, but okay. Happy New Year, Jose, proud. Jose, just because I'm fine. Jose, yeah, you got to do what you got to do, my man. See, whether I agree with that, Jose, I'm not saying I don't. I'm not saying I do. But that's what I like to say. You just say what you're doing. You don't say, oh, you've got to do this, you've got to do that. I like that. Jose. Just in case of split, I'm still buying. That's Jose's. Just good luck to you, mate. Honestly, you're one of us. I genuinely believe you're an 8. Good luck to you. You do what you got to do. Thanks, mate, man. Come on, Pantheon. I know you're flicking through paperwork, reading it up. Mrs. Payne, it was an amazing interview. Yeah, good interview. What are we talking about? Boss's interview with... yes, you've got to go and watch it if you haven't seen it. Dr. Metzler. It was really good. There was some good info in there, you know. And this is the thing, I don't know, sometimes maybe people get caught up. You want the info that's going to be boom, the home run, you know, Babe Ruth back in the day pointing out, here we go. It ain't going to work that way. There's so many moving parts. Wolfie AMC, this is not known yet, Wolfie. We should see those details in a proxy vote. They must be instantaneous to be effective. Thank you, my friend. I appreciate you responding. And I know you would expect no little from me, but that is your opinion that you've expressed, and you'd expect me to go away and do my due diligence. But I can take that as a really good indicator. So let me just make sure I got that. Sure, that is not known yet, Wolfie. We should see those deals in a proxy vote. So you're just saying they must be instantaneous for the 2. So if we voted yes, it would mean that, let's say it was the 31st of January, we had the vote on the 21st of January. I know there might be 30 days, whatever, but just forget the actual dates, just as an indicator. 31st of January, so 21st of January, we all had a vote, and everyone said yes, or the majority said yes. And then on the 31st, and the opening of the market, we will convert 8 back to AMC and the reverse split 10-1 all at the same time. Or we got to wait until they say. Sorry if that put you on the spot. Anyway, back to the chat. Where are we? Live chat. Aaron Phil, Happy New Year, Wolfie. I'm with you in this effort to destroy corruption. Appreciate your work. Thank you, my man. For me, the monetary value genuinely is a byproduct. If I lose the money and change, it would be disappointing. But I can live with that. You know, for those out there who really need this money, I want to win for you, and I'll be holding probably longer than most. I can't do any more than that, but I'm allowed my own personal opinion. And to wake up, if we suddenly woke up 100 million people in America, I honestly think this would be over in a week. I think the fact that they've been able to hide behind people's lack of knowledge, understanding, being too busy, you know, chasing the dollar because that's how the world's set up. They keep us where they want us, etc., etc. So I hope people understand that when I say that. But yeah. Oh, look, my man's been back. Pantheon, thank you. I'm not ignoring anyone else. Mark Brumfield. Hope Marcel comes out with a video about the OIA and Friends debacle. Yeah, I see there's obviously another topic of discussion, Mark. I've actually touched on that myself. Personally, I couldn't give a fuck if they put Ken Griffin in charge of AMC. I really couldn't. I think what matters is us, the shareholders, and where we are. And if they were stupid enough to replace and put Ken Griffin in charge, we'd have Ken Griffin out because as shareholders, we got a right to. You just need grounds. Well, grounds is geezer's a fucking swat. So I don't get overly excited, but more knowledgeable people than me, maybe Boss will have time to do this new topic. Oh, the debacle. But Mark, I'm not belittling you, mate, on this concern or what you've put in the chat. I really ain't. But for me, personally, I couldn't give a fuck if they put the devil himself in charge of AMC at the moment, to be honest. I look at different things, not that. Right, Pantheon, thank you. What I mean is, if both get voted yes and the 2 actions are not simultaneous, that gives hedge funds time to use the new AMC shares to close a short position. That makes sense, yes. So we can logically think that it will be instantaneous. I hope. Thank you, sir. I appreciate you. I'm a plumber and handyman like Empire. I love what I do. Richard, honestly, backbone of the country. You and a million other trades and everybody else, you know, the hospitals and nurses. This is what I'm trying to get out to, you know, the mums and dads. It's just have a look. Make your own mind up. I trust you. I have faith in you. I just believe in people, and I just wish... Who told us about the market crash in 2008? Nobody. Nobody. Go and have a look at the Fed. We did a video, We Remember. No one told us. No one warned us. All these experts and suits, man, the people I know go, oh yeah, financial advisor said this, financial advisor... What, the sheep? The same people that never told us in 2008, oh, you're 401, or, you know, your job might be lost, or we're heading towards a market. No one said fuck all. You know, I watch mainstream media and suits. Go and watch the video. You'll see them. It's not even listening to me. It's just me saying, look, 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 look. They all did the same thing. But anyway, have a little ramble. What else we got? What's up, Andrew? Grandpa Barney, New Year Fashion Bro. Kate, nice to see you. Richard, I can try to troubleshoot your boiler. What's going on with it? I got a feeling that it's... can't believe I'm talking about this. I got a feeling that I had a power surge a couple of times, and now from the boiler is constantly feeding a live. So even when the boiler's off and I haven't got the program set to on, if I flick the switch, the fuse switch, then it comes on. So I got a feeling there's a couple of boxes in the boiler that needs changing. If not, it'll be the... see that little white box? It'll be that little bastard. But yeah, so I've got to get that done. Hurrah! Who else we got? All right, let's have a look, see if we've got any questions. All right, anyone in the chat? Are you home tonight with family, on your own, or going out? You don't have to say. But what time is it where yous are? It's... all right, that ain't going to work. 3 o'clock here, so 9 or 10 o'clock where you are. So we've got a little while yet. Who's our solo, like your style, mate? You I suppose 7 p.m. where you are. Christ, man, I'm not staying on for another 5 hours. I mean, I'd like to see the new year in with you all, but I didn't think it was that far. Where are you? Your wife's boyfriend. Where do you live? It's 7 p.m. That's 8 hours behind. No idea. I was going to pretend I was smart then, but you all know I'm not. So. San Diego. Oh, okay. Lady Kim, out to dinner earlier, now home, 10 p.m. Excellent. Glad you're here, Lady Kim. Evan home. I'm online on my own, 8 p.m. Western Canada. Well, I'm glad you joined us, Evan. I appreciate that, mate. Got any questions? Chuck them in the chat. It's 2:45. New Year arrived in the UK 3 hours ago. Rodania 2. If it is 2:45, my clock's wrong. Don't know. Could be. The other clock says 25 past 8. Told you, I had a power cut. Yes, home, 7 p.m. Nice. I've had a look, right? This might be kind of interesting. Don't have to say who you are, how old you are, but my demographics, which I didn't know how to do, I really don't look into all that. I just put it out and here's what it is. But my demographics is 35 years or older. Anyone under 35, don't watch. Must think I'm a boomer. Bastards. Fucking bastards. Actually, it's 2:59. Ha ha. Ah! Yeah, that's about right. Happy New Year, Adania. Grandpa Barney, do you know I got an uncle lives in Seattle, sir? I have. I've actually got a parent that lives in Michigan. I have. And I love Florida. To the moon. Let's go to the moon, Chris. Wouldn't that be nice? I'm going to the moon because I intend that's where I drop off. And then back. And when it comes back, I'm going to get off at the moon. But I've got a feeling some of us are going to make it to the outer space. Whew. But we'll see. Pantheon's educating. That's good to see. That's good to see. Thank you, Pantheon. I appreciate your assistance. Did you know I don't have a single mod? Yeah. If I did, the #1 would be Diaz. I got a lot of time for Diaz. He's such a lovely guy. But I haven't got a single mod. And did you know something else? I get very little hate. Kind of nice. It's not to say I've never had any, but I get very little. I'm under the radar. What else we got? Jacksonville. What's Jacksonville like, Jeffrey? I'd imagine it's nice. Wolfie, does this time difference mean you'll get your tendies first after? No, I'm being genuine, you know. I think I will probably only sell after a huge majority. I have no problem at the end of this that I've still got 50% of my shares. None whatsoever. I'm not a rich man, but I've never been interested in being rich. I like being right. I like being on... I like morals and principles. I like to be able to look myself in the mirror. And that's not saying that anyone who sells all their shares isn't. That's not my point. My point is, you know, everyone came at this play for their own reasons, and I'm not being a martyr or thinking I'm special or trying to pretend I'm anything other than I ain't. I really not. But I genuinely care about people. I wish there was somebody when I was 20, 30, 40 that was 50, 60 years old that had been, you know, back in the 70s, they turned around and went, hang on a fucking minute, we're not having this. That's why I'm so proud to be an ape and part of this, you know, because we are apes, we are different ages, we are all fighting a corruption, and there's a million things to fight in this world, but we've all focused in on this one particular thing, and I think it's a bloody good step to other opportunities and fights after this, if you're up for it. I mean, there's lots of people in lots of areas fighting lots of things, so I'll always find something to put money towards or time towards to be able to fight. It just tends to be my way, but I think we've got a real crack at this, you know, going at the heart of the beast. We've got a real chance of being able to affect real change. We've just got to be able to wait. Anyway, 10 o'clock here. Do you have more than one zone on your boiler? Richard? No, I never had any of that set up, Richard. It was just, normally I'd just flick it on for an hour. All the kids have left home and stuff, so I just flick it on for an hour. But for some reason, it just had this power surge, and then since then, it just seems to be sending a permanent live. But don't worry, mate. I appreciate the help. Don't worry, I'll get someone round. Evan out, thanks for the videos on Empathy. Well, Evan, off you go ahead and make Pantheon your first mod. Pantheon's busy enough, trust me. Guy's a walking legend. Somebody sent me recently a really nice comment, but the truth of it is, I just, like all of yous, I've got a seat at the table. You know, Pantheons of the world and Boss Blunts. Me and Pantheon are both, you know, very praising the Boss. We spent a lot of time with Boss, talking with Boss, listening to Boss, understanding Boss, him doing the same for us. You know, anyone who doubts Boss, I've got no time to listen to, because you're either a wannabe or you're a hater or you haven't watched the videos. I've been with Boss now for a long time, and I'm nobody's fool. You might pull the wool over my eyes for a while, but you won't do it forever. And Boss is not one of them. Boss really cares. He's, you know, he's out there, he's trying to do what he thinks. You think he's got nothing better to do than go and do the videos when he does do them? He's not out there all the time. Come on now. He's here for the good of everybody, not... He don't... Come on now, you've seen the bets he's placed. You've seen what he's done. He don't need anything else. He's going to be so stupidly fucking rich when this is all over. He don't need a YouTube. He don't need to be on YouTube doing what he's doing. He could be like 90% of the 90% that own the stock that are sat in the background, just nice and quiet. He could have just bought what he's bought and his options and everything else, just sat in the background. You don't need to come on and do the videos that he does. You don't need to care about people, but he does, and I see that in him, and that's why ultimately he's the only one I watch and follow. Pantheon, I like Phil for real. I like watching him occasionally. He did a song and stuff, but I was watching a little bit before that. KC Shaw's another one. I got time for KC Shaw. Harry does 9 hours. I mean, what are we in? I've set my new record, 99 minutes, 24 seconds. Can't believe you're still here, but thank you. So there's good people out there. And I talked about this a long time. I ain't said it since. If you bring more to the table than you take, you're good in my book. I might not agree with everything you say. I might not like your style. Might not appreciate how you put it across or do the things you're doing. But if you're looking after part of this community in your way and they're following you because they like how you do it, who am I to judge? But then we have a few that come in and eventually show their true colours. So 10 years time, I'll still be here doing the videos. I like KC anyway. I like Pantheon. I like Boss. You make your mind up who you like. There's lots of people out there doing things. I was close to Seymour when I went to visit my son in Kentucky. My girlfriend's husband gave me money to buy him heaps of great people. That's, okay, gotcha. Wolfie, I'd be happy to mod for you, Wolfie. I'll do it for Marcel as well. Pantheon, I appreciate that, my man, honestly. Firstly, I've got no idea how you make people mods. I'm an old fart. I really ain't. You know, and I've said it a few times. This channel really ain't for me to sit. I do it at the moment. I've been out tonight. I just want to say thank you, everyone. I wanted to sit up. You know, it's a new year. It's another new year that we've all gone through. Most of us together all the way. I've been January 21. A lot of people have. A lot of people have come and joined us since, and a few people have come and gone as time moves on. But it was just really to say a thank you. But I don't really get the hate in there, and unless people that are watching the video say, "Look, it's getting too much." You know, you've got to deal with these bots. You know, I'll do it in the Discord for Boss, the think tank. I'll deal with them on Boss's Live. I'm not a mod. Pantheon, feel free to make me a mod on yours. I know you don't do that many videos at the moment, but if ever you do, feel free to chuck me in as a mod, mate. I'll always sit there. I'm quite happy to throw people out talking garbage, as you all know. I've got to go to sleep, thank you. But then, yeah, I don't blame you. I'm going hardcore tonight, so but you have a wonderful sleep and Happy New Year to you and all your family. Pantheon is a calm fella, Lady Kim. Yeah, have a good sleep, Adenia. If you click the three dots to the right of my comment when you hover over it, you can select as a mod. Only if you want. They're a respectful group here. I'm glad it's a respectful group because I'm trying to stay up with the chat. How do you do this, Pantheon? Seriously. When I used to watch all these videos, I think, oh, piece of piss. Just sit there, you just chat, you just click on it and boss, where you go. But it's not quite that simple. I don't even see three dots, Pantheon, but let's click on it. I think I just did it. Pantheon is now moderator. Pantheon, you are the first moderator of my channel, sir. A little honour that you more than deserve, but good luck to you, mate. Thankfully, they are a respectful group in here. It's kind of weird, I do occasionally get a little bit coming. It don't bother me, they soon get quick swift. I kind of feel like I'm one of them. It's always like I thought Italians were really good at arguing. I think I've maybe got a bit of Italian in me because you can come at me and all that and I just turn it around because the stuff I talk about. How can you argue against caring about people? Mums and dads, backbone of America, you know, the military. How can you argue against the 1%ers want us all controlled? How can you argue against that? It's been going on for 20 years. So maybe I'll give some of the haters little area to move, and if they ask to come in and say the wrong thing, then I can kick their ass and use it as an opportunity. You're doing great. Thank you, Lady Kim. I do appreciate that. Who else wants to be a mod? Anyone want to be a mod? You can all be mods. I want to be mods. Wolfie is big time now. He's got his full. Not only have I got my first mod, but it's Pantheon. Sometimes old fellas do all right. Pantheon, you are a legend. I just removed the girls 18 poster. Your chat is good. No, Pantheon. That's the one thing I wanted to stay. It's the little things sometimes. Anyway, We'll definitely change the world. Right, let's see some questions in the chat then. Fire them at me. If I don't know, I've got no shame in saying I don't know, but let's see what you're doing. Or if they're not questions, what's your hopes? 3 months, 6 months? It don't have to be about the play. Let's bring that back up. There you go. Definitely change the world. Andrew, I agree. I suppose AMC tokens. Ooh. Pantheon are great. Yes, he is. I just removed the girls. That did make me laugh, actually. We've definitely changed the world. Awful. If we don't fight this corruption now, we'll never have another chance. Our freedom is at risk. That's why I'll continue to buy and hold. Aaron, I believe 100% it's our best opportunity. I talk a lot about the Wall Street conspiracy. I had the Dirty Dozen and the lawyer and Congress, but people do, I hope, appreciate that really it's people that ultimately get things changed. You know, I hope people realise that, because, you know, I speak from experience. You can have one person make an awful lot of difference. One person was Darren Saunders, made an awful lot of difference to me. I always had an opinion of the stock market. I was never a trader. I just looked at it from a young age, what happened, the impact on people, family, communities around me, my country, globally, and a lot of other things that I looked at. And it all just sort of, that's why I'm here, I guess. That's why I'm chatting right now to you. I'm in the right place at the right time for my path in this world that I've taken. So I end up just sitting there and watching and seeing everything going on, and I just think to myself, you know, sometimes is there a need for me? Do I need to give much in the way of feedback? And then other times with people being, you know, kind back, maybe I do have a way of looking at things. Time will tell, you know. Like I say, at the end of this, I want to change the world. Can't do it on my own, neither can you. But together, one person made a difference in 700 lives, and that 700 ricocheted around a region, and then it became a nationwide thing, you know, and people wanted better and stuff. It didn't work out right to the very end of everything, but a lot of people, you know, stepped up. A lot of people got themselves into position. A lot of people made a difference in their workplaces or within their community or their area of responsibility. It all worked out nice for everybody. Did I gain on my own? No. But others did, and they're still doing great work every day as I speak. So, yeah. What do you think about the tokens of AMC fraud or what? Your wife's boyfriend, chuck that up, mate. What are you on about? Been out tonight. Tony going live at 11:30 p.m. Eastern. Tony Durant. Not watched a lot of Tony, to be fair. No disrespect meant by that. He won't even know who I am. It's just how it works, yeah. We don't fight this corruption. But yes, fight. Bro Kate, Boss, Bigums, Wolfie, Tony, Diaz, Red Pill, Bill. Bro Kate, it's nice you put me in there with some massive names. I'm just me, mate. I'm taking my kids to the movies this week, Puss in Boots and a large popcorn. Good for you, Benjamin. Enjoy them moments, you know, with the kids. I remember my dad taking me. It was Star Wars, the first film I ever see. Always stayed with me. That's why I love AMC. Also, I remember my first girlfriend. Also, I remember my first kiss. I remember the first time I danced to a film, Ferris Bueller's Day Off, with about 20 of 30 of the kids from our school. Got great memories. Yeah. I won't give up without a fight. But I don't know. So what do you think about the tones of AMC fraud or what? So maybe that's the fact you're talking about, like the FTX side of things, etc., etc. Again, I look at things a little bit different. So I did see there was 8 trillion going to Boss or Pantheon. I'm sure both have spoken about this. Didn't dig into it, didn't look into it, didn't, you know, go crazy about it. What I will say is, I genuinely wasn't surprised that crypto was being used somehow to hide or manipulate or give them more breathing space or another avenue. Anything that they can find, they will use. Whether it's something brand new or it's something that they've been doing for 20 years, or they will always, and my own personal belief is that the magnitude of the situation is so huge, they really can't stop. You know, I think the price at the moment, everyone will have an opinion. My personal opinion is they have to keep going. They have to keep going. I did flag up, go and have a look on the Twitter, I did flag up about a court case years back, and there was some info in it regarding how they do it. How have they got no shares and they can keep shorting every day? How do these shares appear? Well, the info's out. You just got to go and look, and I don't spoon feed, but it is on my Twitter. I flagged it up and the source, so you can start from there and work your way back and for other court cases or whatever. It's not overly complicated. It's not hours of looking. You know, you can go and read and take it at face value if you want, or you can do a little bit of digging afterwards, but it's on you. It's not for me to do that for you. I flag up where to look, you go and look, or you don't. So it is. Richard just bought a hollow door for my bedroom management. Hi, Richard, getting out there looking after the crew. Good stuff. Anyone else want to be a mod? Let's have a little look at the chats. In case I missed anyone, I do apologise. Core Daddy Dollars, good to see you in the house. I've scrolled up a little bit, so it's nice to see you. Who else we got? Let's do a few shout outs actually. Who's never been shouted out in the chat? Evan Howe. I'm online on my own, Western Canada. Have I got any family out in Canada? My family went everywhere. My uncle's out there for a while, but he's not. I've got a couple of friends that I used to work with. They work on the railway out there now in Canada. Friends, well, loosely said. Don't make me sing, people. Let's see a few things. Right, let me scroll up. Let's see what we got. Right, I'm online. 9:50, 10 o'clock in Indiana. To the moon. Yes, we are. It's 2:45. So I hope that answered that. Your wife's boyfriend. What are your thoughts on the AMC tokens? They'll use whatever they can. If they have used it, well, if you got time for me, you'll get your. Let me just let's go through the chat, and then I'm going to consider. I've got a couple of topics in my own head that I thought, do you know what? A bit like Pantheon Radio, I can talk about different subjects, but I've got a couple of others. Unless something comes up, let's have a look. How does Wolfie look at things? We've changed the world. Great night in memory with your kids. It's the best thing you can do. Spent a long time working too many hours when my kids were growing up. Don't do that. I think once again, Pantheon's trying to be cheap. Pantheon's never cheap. Pantheon, you got any questions? Anyone else got any questions? I've had a few thoughts sort of come and go. I always feel like I'm at my worst when I feel like something might happen. Because if something does happen and the play's over, I can't help anyone else. We can't help anyone else. So I get a bit panicky and stuff, and that's when I'm at my absolute worst. That was the motivation for the actual first video I ever actually done. Boss was incredibly busy at the time. I couldn't get it out. I did a video which was only ever going to go in, and it was sent to Boss and hoping that we might pick up, because as you know, Boss is very, very kind. Always lets me go on there and, you know, have little rants and stuff. But it was when 8 was first announced, and it was the first, and I panicked. I was just like, fucking hell, it's just going to be like game over, and people can't. Game over in the respect of the opportunity or possibility of it. But yeah, and then everyone jumped in, and it was like, go and watch the video. But But this really is for after. But it does give me an opportunity to come on like times like tonight. You know, I don't know where you are. I don't know how you're watching. I don't know if you're working. I don't know if you're sitting at home and you know, you're knackered, you've done a day's work or whatever, but it don't matter, you're here now, you're listening. But I often do genuinely think, you know, when people talk about the video We Are the World, it's so crazy, you know, I'm so grateful that my words did resonate, because there was a few of us just sat around chatting, and I guess that's what tonight's about. You never know what will come out. But I've had a few thoughts, and obviously for those who do celebrate Christmas time, and now we've got a new year. It's been a tough year, you know. We've had a lot of catalysts, good sound, solid catalysts that could have done the job, but we're still here. We've had some ups and downs, we've had some battles. This Christmas I was very fortunate where all those that I know and love I got to see. And it's always a reminder. Just sitting there sometimes, you know, with everything in my head about everything I'm doing. And they know, you know, my kids, both my kids, I've got 2 children, both of them own AMC. We rarely talk. You know, my oldest boy is 30, and he'll just, when there's something to happen, Dad, tell me. He's not one to sit there and go on YouTube or Twitter or, there's something important, Dad, no, you tell me. Go and play golf and go to work. But it was really nice just to see him. But there was occasional moments where, not designed or intended, but I'd just be sitting there and I'd have a conversation with my daughter and I'd be looking her in the eyes. When the conversation finished, I'd be thinking, you're my why. And I look at my boy, you know, with his girlfriend, and same thing. And it just kept happening. It didn't happen last Christmas. This Christmas it has, but it didn't happen last Christmas. And when I'm at the moment, I don't know why, but an awful lot of times when I'm out, I'm just looking at people and thinking, you don't know. You don't know what's going on. You know, it ain't even, you know, always people I know. It's just out generally. I might be at work doing things and stuff, and I'll come into contact with people I don't know and stuff, and I just look at them and think, you can't go on full rents every day, you know. You can't just stand there. And I had a crazy thought actually the other night. I might go to, they call it Speaker's Corner. We got one in the think tank, but I'm on about the Speaker's Corner. When we talked about this being an opportunity for people in the think tank just to go in, chit chat, and it's been used. Not as much as I'd like to see, but I'm not in it all the time, you know. Neither's everybody else, because we come and go and we got work. But Speaker's Corner is in London, and I thought a couple of times, you know, it's about time I went and got on my soapbox and proper let rip, clue a few people up, but we'll see. But this Christmas has been, it's kind of been reinforcing, yeah, it's kind of been reinforcing. I just look around at the people that are my way, or the community, or the country, and I'm looking at things that are going on and just thinking, yeah, this is a battle worth winning. Try to educate yourself before voting for. American trader, know what you're voting for. Yeah, we talked about that. I still stand by it. No YouTuber. No Twitter following. Going to influence the decision. I think if everybody who watched YouTube, Twitter and went on Reddit all voted one particular way, it still wouldn't influence the vote. So I think everyone can calm down in that respect. And it's sound advice, you know, do your own homework, work it out yourself. Me personally, I'm a yes. But you do you, allow me to do me. And if we're coming out at different angles, we're going to have to see where it is. I personally have zero doubt that no matter what happens, we're going to win. I'm going to win. They're going to lose. Why do I think that? Life. The way people have held. I don't mind losing. I won't quit. I don't think I'm special. And in amongst all the stuff that I hear every time it's a new story or a new angle, a new ruling or a new this, or every time I see it, don't really change anything. And then people go, oh, because of Adam Aaron, it's the price is this, and because of this, it's... No, the price is what it is because they're naked shorting the fucker to death. It's how they work. And the deeper the hole they dig and the closer it comes to the end game and the liquidation disappearing and margin calls and desperate people do desperate things. We broke the algo. People have bought, they've held, they want justice, they want to win, they want to look after their families, they want it to stop, they want to look after jobs and companies, they're aware naked shorting's gone on for too long, more and more people understanding the bigger picture, and it's just like, fuck yeah, I'm not going anywhere, fuck yeah. We're just going to ride it out and let it be. So for me personally, whilst it is important to know all these different areas, and some people it's more important than others, for me personally, I'm the sort of dude that sat in the armchair of a cold beer just watching the world go by, you know, and everyone else is out there doing whatever they're doing. Maybe I'm too old to get excited about everyday stuff, but hey ho. Who else we got in here? Let's have a look. Let's see what's going on. Lady Kim, Happy New Year all. Good night, good night, Lady Kim. You have a great sleep. And Happy New Year to you and all the family. You'll have to get a solid core door frame. Listen to Richard, he knows his stuff, bless him. I wish you'd lived near me, Richard. I've got loads of work for you. Brocate, no house, no roof, signing this last week. Ooh. Brocate, I hear you. Who's your prayer, Lady Kim as well? Lady Kim's gone. Night. Can't wait to see it end. Awfully Happy New Year. George Burwell, Happy New Year to you, sir. You and all the family. Here's to 2023. Great statement. Desperate people do desperate things. It's true though, isn't it? I mean, I've looked at it that this naked short selling and everything else has been going on for 20 years. I've talked about it loads. There's a paper trail, talked about it loads. SEC, detail, all the things that people complain about, I've talked about it. Well, sooner or later, that comes back and bites them in the arse. So what makes it come back and bite them in the arse? Well, for starters, 5 to 10 million people shining a light. Unfortunately, people that lose. So I flagged up recently. They don't care about you becoming rich, but they do care about becoming poorer. That was poorly worded on my part for a tweet anyway. Mums and dads, brothers and sisters, uncles and aunties, nans and granddads, people with 401ks, people that work in the military and the army, and people that work for the police and the first responders, the heroes every time something major happens that go out and put their lives on the line for us, the teachers, road sweepers, cleaners, bartenders, electricians, plumbers, all of us. We all do every day what we got to do. We go out there and we battle and we fight and we try and, you know, provide for our families and stuff, just to find out that we get robbed. What do you think people are going to say when they find this truth out, when it eventually comes out? You know, try as we might to get the word out at the moment, there's no mainstream media help for the most part. But things like maybe the Wall Street conspiracy and the sequel, if enough people understand the value of it, not for you with your massive knowledge that you've built up, but for other people just out there that can just turn around and go, do you know what? Watch this film. You know, spend half hour just looking into this guy who's done these court cases. Go and have a look at Mark Foulkes. You know, go and have a look at this lady, Joni. Listen to this amazing young lady. There's lots of things out there. And maybe if everybody did wake up, then maybe we'd make a good start in fighting these though. And changing the world. Because I think it's the heart of the beast that we go against. It's not just a few small fry. I think there's quite a lot out there, and I think it's going to shock people. I think the magnitude of the situation, even for people in the play, is a little bit. Wolfie, are you going to get an intro song? I've actually got one. The problem I've got is I don't know how to put it on. Just out of respect for Phil. Phil for real, bless him. And I actually quite like the song. I've got to be honest, my grandson loves it. Absolutely loves it. He came down to stay with me. A lot of people think Wolfie's just my nickname to hide behind, but I've been called Wolfie for a long, long time. My grandson's 3, he won't know that I'm Wolfie. But I put it on. He was just sitting there, and he was just a little bit bored and said, let's put this on. And it was the song done by Phil for real. So I'd really like that as my intro. I watch some of Boss's intros and some of the others, you know, Pantheon's intro, and I think, I've got to get an intro, but got to know how to do all that shit, haven't you, really? AMC 8 needs to hold up and finish it live. I can't believe I liked Once Upon a Time. Yeah. Schultz overdid it with AMC. I think so. Jules Bell, yes at home, 10:39. Welcome home, Jules. Ain't a bad place to be, mate, New Year's Eve. It's kind of funny, when I was growing up, it was a big deal, you know, you had huge family parties or street parties in people's houses, and they used to take it in turns. A lot of that's gone now. Happy New Year to you, mate. Richard, great statement. Desperate things, yes indeed. Bro Kate, Happy New Year to us all indeed, mate. Jeffrey Graham, Wolfie, when are you going to get an intro? We've done that. Okay, yes, we're going to win. Too many good, honest and hard-working people in this world. We are the many, they are the few. Do you know what, Aaron? That's actually a really 100% heartfelt from me. That's how I feel. How the fuck does 1%, less than 1% in actual fact, it's the absolute elite of 1%, control the entire planet? I mean, Jesus Christ, are we happy with the crumbs that we get, that we accept? How our communities are, and society is, and schooling is, and life is, and work is, and pensions at risk, and the lies that they tell us, and weapons of mass. Honestly, it's just like, fuck me. The world don't need to be this way. Anyone who tells you any different is full of shit, or one right at the very top. They're the only ones who want it to stay the way it is. And I see things coming up. You know, a lot of people chatting about CBDC, and there's no denying I believe that WEF and CBDC and everyone else, governments in areas, because they're controlled ultimately by those above them. You know, you've got all this lobbying of Congress, but it ain't just in America, it's fucking everywhere. It's just ridiculous. There's a lot of things they'd like. Are we going to allow it? Because how are we in a position where we're controlled by such a minority? And I don't think people as a whole, if you give them a fair, just system, if everyone's accountable and everyone's judged the same, we're all given the same rules to abide by, etc., etc., I think society would be, you know, an incredible place. I don't see that it would be this fall apart and there would just be lazy, but I just do not fucking buy it. I don't. I think if you want the world the way it is, fine. If the 1%ers, the banks and all that fuck up, let them pay for it. Let them pay for it. Don't make us, keep your hand out of my fucking pocket is what I'm trying to say. I'm quite happy to go to work. I'm quite happy to do the job I do at the moment. I chose to do, so I didn't have to be retrained. I didn't have to. It's convenient. I like it. It's stress-free. I go to work. I work longer than I want. It's harder work than I'd like, given the choice. But I get a lot from it. But these fucking 1%ers control everything, and they're never happy. They're greedy bastards. And how is it that we're all in this? I know how it is. I'm not going to talk about it tonight. I know how we are where we are, but I could talk for days about the way the world's set up. I really, really could. What I'm trying to do is stay on point, focusing only on AMC, GME, naked short selling, the cancer that's in the market. Do you know why I'm like that as well at the moment? Because of how important it is. So if I get caught up in conversations about other topics, which I know people do, and fair play to them, and full power, I talk about very little apart from AMC, GME, naked short selling, history, the paper trail, SEC. I come out mostly when there's a big hoorah and say, look, it's another way of looking at it. What do you think? Go away, work it out for yourself. I just think people sometimes get a little bit excited, but I don't get into all these other, and there's a million valid things on this planet I would love to change overnight, but I don't get too deep in all that. I tend to focus, because then people can't. The AMC, GME, if that's all I'm talking about, if it's about people protecting people, getting the message out, and that's all I'm talking about, there's not really a lot of angles people can come at me for. 1% of demons, and this is their playground. More of us than them, and they're not in hiding. Anyone we know about that's in the public are tools. My own personal belief. The people that ultimately control the world, whether there's 3 of them or 30 of them, we don't know who they are. So I know we can say, JP Morgan's, the banks, etc. We can point at all, but they're all tools. And I know the people doing it, Diamond, and they're just all tools. They'll all come out and say, I do this, I do that. It's within conformity. It's allowed. It's made allowances for. They're all. But somebody at the top decides ultimately what survives, what doesn't, what fails, what doesn't. And amongst them is a very small minority that in actual fact control everything. I think all of it, governments, I think banks, I think the Fed Reserve, I think Bank of England, mainstream media, I think big corporations, all of it is tied together. And as long as you're part of it, you'll be all right. But if you're not, they'll go after you. 1% of demons in this. Wealth balance on stage from the entire world. It's like playing Monopoly and the game has ended and then they start the game. Wealth balance on stage from the entire world. Wealth balance on stage from the entire world. That's such a good... Honestly, you're like fucking fishing me in on that. I'd like to respond to that. I'm not going to. And I have got a lot to say on that. No, I've got to keep above it. This above 100%. Not sure about you, Andrew. Not sure about that comment. Sorry, mate. We remember intro. I'm so afraid. That's a good shout. I hope anyone who's watched that, it resonated. Maybe jogged a few memories or gave a few people something to go and look at that they maybe didn't realise or didn't understand. But how the fuck do we save everybody? If I know, I'd like to. Where are you going to get an intro? Right, so it looks. I've got no idea how many are watching. We have actually been live for 133 minutes and 12 seconds. Christ, if we go for much longer, it's almost as long as it takes me to run a marathon. I lie, it takes me a lot longer. That's something you never knew. I run marathons. I never started running until I was 49 years old. And then I bought a running machine to drop a bit of weight, and then before I knew it, was signed up by a friend to run a half marathon, which turned out to be a half marathon, and they cheekily signed me up for a full marathon, and the rest was history. I feel like we should be singing for Old Lang Syne. Waiting about last minute for sure. We may not even need it. Oh, there's a fair point. Someone else said that to me actually, and I said, Great strategy, because if you wait right to the end, your vote won't matter. I very much doubt it's going to be 49.999% against 51.001, but who knows? And what was the other bit you said? Regarding them, we may not even need it. It will be interesting to see what's going to happen over the next week or so. I'd like to see an early announcement on when we can expect this special meeting. But just be prepared when it comes out. It's going to be a lot of hoorah. Right, as we drop in numbers, what did I have? I thought would be a good topic. Yes, people. So in my lifetime, I've been lucky to be around things that are just people. I've watched people, met some great people, been inspired by many. And in this play, it's like running a union. For those who haven't, I'll explain. You have lots of people with lots of opinions. Invariably, the first people you hear of are the people who don't know enough, or want to be a voice, or want to be. And I found that very early on. And then you'd have people that would come and say, everybody's saying, now I see this even with really nice people, a couple I've even met, where they'll say, I'm seeing a huge divide. No, you're not. No, you're not. Perspective. And it used to be like when I ran a union where people would come and everybody's saying, no, they're not. No, they are. No, they're not. In this particular play, I watch a lot. Don't always comment, not always in chats, but I do watch a lot. And I do gauge it. And then I do look at when some of the comments come on Twitter ultimately. Don't go so much on Reddit. Twitter ultimately, but I'll look at the comments and I'll look at the followers and the numbers. And one follower, 100,000 don't impress me one way or the other. But I'll look at the sort of comments and then there'll make a few more comments and I'll gauge, like all of us, I guess. But people are, you know, this 90% that I've talked about for so often, that have never sold. The peripheral that might come and go, the 5%, you know, somebody might have lost a job or had medical grounds or maybe lost faith or just decided they had enough. But people ultimately, majority of people, especially when you're talking about a lot of people, they tend to be more middle ground. It can be different in certain areas. If you go to somewhere where it's incredibly impoverished, not a lot of opportunities, not a lot of jobs, a lot of lies, letdowns, etc., it can be really bitter people, and rightly so, you know, it can be really fucked off people, rightly so. So, but you have to have a balance overall, and the balance overall for me, as I see in this play, is people didn't take out credit cards and put every penny, not the majority. They didn't FOMO in, not the majority. They didn't YOLO in, not the majority. They didn't invest money they couldn't afford to lose, not the majority. I think the majority that came into this for whatever their original motives, etc., did so without being dumb money or stupid about it or crazy about it. And yeah, I think there's some younger people or there's some people that are up against it, or there's life throws you some curveballs sometimes that's made it very difficult. But ultimately, I think the majority are quiet and silent and sitting and waiting. And that's what gives me great faith. And I could be wrong. Can I prove it? Of course I can't. I don't know everybody in the play. Neither do you. Neither do they. Neither does anybody. But I go by the numbers that are generated and the things that AMC says, etc. I have faith in people. I have faith that people want justice, excuse me. I have faith that people have seen enough, know enough, understand enough. I'm not on about market maker exempt, etc. I'm on about losing their home in 2008, and I'll never stop talking about that. I'm on about people that see mainstream media tell everyone for the last 12, 15 years, don't touch crypto, don't buy crypto, don't get involved. Now all of a sudden we've got all the government saying CBDC. I think people realise that they were told not to buy something. In actual fact, had they bought it, they'd have made a lot of money, whether they held right the way up to the very top and back down again, or whether they sold earlier, or whatever. And I think people know that they're lied to constantly. And I think for enough, when this opportunity came up, like it did for me, I think they went in sensibly, responsibly. And I don't think they're willing to walk away because there's something on Twitter. Some ruling. I think as long as AMC does not go bankrupt and they bought AMC shares, they're in the fight. And it might take longer than some would like, and you're going to have between now and then what we've seen for 2 years, where people come at you and people scream at you and people shout at you and people try and force their ideas down and pretend they're smarter than everybody. Oh, who the fuck cares? There'll be somebody who owns AMC, he's never heard any of us. Still own it. And I think the vast majority don't really get too phased. I think they bought it, they're holding it, they're not going to move. We don't know that everybody else who bought it outside of Twitter or YouTube ain't already millionaires. It's because they're not institutions buying it, don't mean they're not rich. And maybe they've been around long enough that they understand how the market works, or the market maker exempts, or maybe they want payback or justice. Maybe they've got young kids. Maybe it's an opportunity. Maybe they bought it knowing Warren Buffett style, buy and hold. So I never panic. Let them do what they got to do, because it's what brought us here. And if we continue to do what brought us here, sooner or later we're going to win or we're going to lose. I'm going to see you all on the moon, I know that much. Right, any questions? Because you have been fine folk today. I wanted to come on and just do this with a chat, and it's worked quite well, although... Dana Young in the house. Hello, young lady. Who else we got? Next time I do one of these where I know I'm going to do it for a while, I'm going to actually bring some bullet points and talk. There's a lot of things I'd like to talk about, but I'm not allowed at the moment. Oh, there's a little teaser, Wolfie. You can't do that. Of course I can. It's my channel. For now. Aaron Phil, we are going to win. There's too many good, honest and hard-working people. Excuse me, sorry, so rude. In the world, we are a minute. Don't forget. That's what I'm hoping for, Aaron. It is hard-working people. It is the mums and dads. All the people I ever spoke about. If you haven't seen it, it's not even on my channel. I get nothing from it. Apart from the satisfaction that I've done my little bit, or an opportunity to do a little bit. We Are the Wow. You go and listen to that video. I do listen to it occasionally. Boss, love him to bits. He plays it quite a lot. And on his channel, he's got no reason to, other than it resonates with him. Because he's like me, you know, he's like you, he's like us. You know, he wants change, he wants to win, he wants to, you know, pay him back and everything else. But if you haven't ever listened to it, if you go on Boss's channel and look up We Are the Wow, that was just people like you sitting around talking, and it was put out. I'm proud of the fact that we were just sitting around talking, all of us. It wasn't just me, but that video, I think, goes somewhere to what you're saying. You know, it's people, and an awful lot of people knew an awful lot of things that they were pissed off about, but didn't know how to change anything. And this was maybe an opportunity that a lot of them thought, yeah, fuck it. I'll buy, I'll hold, let's see what happens. Andrew Francesi, I've seen you everywhere, Andrew, for a long time, mate. You've been around in the chat. Happy New Year to you and all your family, mate. I believe that's roadway was over that smooth sailing from here. Richard, yeah, let's hope that happens. Dana, you doing better? Why? What's been the matter with Dana? Dana, what's going on, Gil? Speak to Wolfie. Dana's giving me some love, bless her. What's going on with you? Why's people saying what they're saying? Don't have to tell me. Not the dreaded C. Oh. So, what's everyone saying? Vitamin D? It's a good thing. And a million other things. I'd so like to talk on that subject, but I'm really not going to. Dana, whatever you need to do and take, you're a grown-ass woman, but recover soon. I hope you're doing okay. Right, 1 hour 45. Pantheon, man, how do you do like 6 hours? 5 hours, 4 hours? Hang on a minute. So, summing up. Looking for a door to Wall Street Squares too. Evan, me too. Wolfgang, so I didn't. Pantheon is a machine, quite right. Who's that? Let's have a look. Right, looking forward to Wall Street Conspiracy too. Yes, me too. You've always done it well, Pantheon. Down the rabbit hole. I'm hoping over the next week or so, we might be able to start discussing it a little bit more open. There's nothing dodgy or anything going on. It's just we've been offered a standing space in the room, if you like, me and Boss, and I'm sure others will. I said it earlier, I've actually reached out on behalf of others, people that I think are contributed or proven themselves over time. I'm not going to name them here because I don't know what it might or might not add up to. I'll gladly sacrifice my position for those people that I've recommended, put it that way. And I don't know that I'll have a position. For me, I'm all about the message. And that film, 10 years later, highlighting the same issues, the Congress that knew back then that might still be serving, might be one of the bits. But to be able to have a film now, 10 years later, that can not only show what they were trying to say was happening, but the effect of it, that people don't realise or understand. What does it matter if a cancer curing company comes out? Well, if they go after a cancer curing company and put it out of business and then take all that info and sell it somewhere else, how do we know it ever sees light of day? Let's say it was a company that cured a cancer. How many people have passed away in the last 10 years from that particular cancer? And that, unfortunately, as annoying as, that's true. Like I say, if we can get the eyes on the info and just get people to look, I think the change would be guaranteed. Because I'd hate to think of anybody else. I know of somebody who passed away from cancer, from a company that could have really helped them. And in the end, it was too late. And as bad as that is, and that really fucking angers me, how many other thousands, tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands globally that might have done an awful lot better had the cancer in the market not killed that company. And there's things like that. So I'm really, you know, I'm a big singer and a praiser, and I don't apologise. I'll flood Twitter at the appropriate times with all the relevant info and try and get eyes on it. And I hope you do too. I hope, you know, you'll take time yourself to assess it and work out for yourselves how big a benefit it will be for the hundreds of millions of people out there, and to affect change, and to put pressure on the SEC, the DTCC, the government, Congress, you know, the mainstream media, the suits, the experts. I hope it does hit home and you'll be able to work that out yourself. Anyway, I got a step. Wolfie, really enjoyed it. I'm glad you was here, Answer Free. I know you've been around forever as well, my friend. We've chatted a few times, so it's good to see you. Hope you're doing well. Who's here? I like your bones. Ooh. Ooh. Happy New Year, people. Cooking with upper shelf. Yes, Wolfie, it's third time. I like how come this time around. That's it, Dana. You man up, Gil. You man up. Right, unless there's anything else, we've been going for 150 minutes. 12. Ooh, that's a new record. That is a new record. Pantheon, we got anything we want to share? Anybody else, you got anything you want to share? If not, I'm going to stop rambling. I just wanted to come in and say thank you tonight. Give you a bit of a chance. Say hello. Must be edging towards New Year's Eve, and you do not want to be spending it with Wolfie on a YouTube channel. Let's have a look. How many pints down? Christopher, I didn't do bad tonight, you know. I've actually been quite impressed with myself recently. I probably had 4, maybe 5 bottle beers, and a couple of shots. Slippery nipples, I think that was called. But it was really nice to be with my friend and all his family and stuff. It was just, yeah, it was really good. Right, that'll do now. So, Pantheon, Happy New Year to you and all your family. Have a blessed New Year. Happy New Year to all of you, Dana, Evan. I'm going to give you a few shout-outs. American Trader. Who's the A? I'm So Free, I think it's ducked out already. Cooking with Top Shelf. Cooking with Top Shelf. Happy New Year. Happy New Year, you all. I hope it was alright tonight. It was around, but there was no plan. It was just I felt like I wanted to come in and say thank you to you. So give us a chance just to have a little chat, chill the boots. We'll get ready to go again. See you later. Let's fucking go. Right, everyone. You have a great night. For those who haven't yet got to the new year, Happy New Year when you do. For all those who have, let's get some sleep. Appreciate you watching.